The Arrogant Prince and the Humble Farmer. Once upon a time, in the grand kingdom of Eldoria, there lived a young prince named Adrian. He was handsome, strong, and intelligent, but he had one great flaw. He was extremely arrogant. He believed that being a prince made him superior to everyone else and looked down upon the common people. One day, as Adrian rode his majestic white horse through the village, he saw a poor farmer struggling to pull a heavy cart filled with sacks of grain. The farmer was sweating and exhausted, but he kept working hard. Adrian laughed and said, "Foolish man, why work so hard for so little? If you were smart, you would find an easier way to live. Only the strong and powerful deserve wealth, while the weak must struggle." The farmer, whose name was Elias, wiped his brow and smiled. "Your Highness, strength is not only in muscles. True strength comes from patience, kindness, and wisdom," Adrian scoffed. "What nonsense! A weak man like you could never understand what true power is." Then he rode away, still laughing. That evening, King Aldrich, Adrian's father, called him to the royal court. "My son," he said, "a good ruler must understand the struggles of his people. You must learn the value of hard work. So I challenge you, live as a commoner for 1 month. If you succeed, you will prove you are worthy of the throne." Adrian was shocked. "Father, me, a commoner? I am a prince. How can I live like them?" The king remained firm. "If you refuse, you will not inherit the kingdom." With no choice, Adrian disguised himself in simple clothes and left the palace, alone and without any gold. For the first few days, Adrian struggled terribly. He had never cooked his own food, cleaned his own clothes, or worked for a living. He knocked on doors asking for work, but no one wanted to hire a lazy man who had never done a day's labor. Hungry and tired, he finally found himself in the same village where he had once mocked Elias, the farmer. Seeing Adrian in his humble state, Elias smiled and said, "I see you have begun to understand life." Adrian swallowed his pride. "Please, teach me how to work." Elias agreed and made Adrian work on his farm. The prince woke up at sunrise, tilled the land, carried heavy sacks of grain, and endured the scorching sun. His hands became rough, his body ached, and he often thought about giving up. But over time, he grew stronger and more disciplined. One evening, as Adrian rested, he watched Elias share his meal with a beggar. Despite his own struggles, Elias never hesitated to help others. Curious, Adrian asked, "Why do you give to others when you have so little?" Elias replied, "Because kindness is the greatest strength.